When I look at today, I think of what my father would say to my fathers before me. Remember this day that I brought you out from the house of bondage, from the land of Egypt. I want for you to remember the day, this Abib. I want for you to think about it as the first day of the year, the first month. And I want for you to always remember that I brought you to the great hand. This is not given to the world. I'm only speaking to you as my children, the Israelites. That's what I remember. And I also think about how the God of Israel worked, that He always put us in a place where people can look at us differently because of our God. Only if we can remember Him. We have turned so far away from a God that is so wonderful to us. We've turned so far away, we have become so dumb when we can speak of His name. We serve other gods, and we should remember at least this day. This is a very important day. I want to take this opportunity on this day, in this time of the eclipse when the world is going crazy. But I think the God of Israel wants us to remember, this is my day, and I want the world to be amazed of what I do for the children of Israel. You go on your separate ways, I'm going to show you. My children will remember this day, and I will let you think of my children on this day, because you'll be amazed at what I can do. I can control the sun. I can control the moon. I am God Almighty. I'm the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And my dear brethren and friends, all over the world, wherever you might be, I want for you too to remember this day. And I want to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very prosperous new year. And I hope this new year would be a better one than it ever was, because the God of Israel is coming to life with the Israelite Nation worldwide ministry. Forget what you hear anywhere else, because the truth can only be here with us as Israelite and the Israelite Nation worldwide ministry. So a happy new year to you, and may my God and your God bless you really. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Happy New Year, everyone. We are super, super excited that we have lived to see another new year. And this is not just a new year, it's a very special beginning of a new season for the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. This is our new moon. This is called Abib, and Abib is the beginning of months in our Israelite calendar. And there's nothing more special than to celebrate new moon with my favorite people on this stream. You will hear from some council members, you will hear from brethren, you will hear some testimonies. I think, guys, we're going to go into some scriptures that are relevant for the time. And all of you that are listening, just know this is the official Israelite New Year. And 14 days from now at even, we will be keeping the feast of Passover and unleavened bread. And we are just so blessed, and I truly mean that, so blessed to see another year in the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. Happy New Year to all of you that are joining us and watching the stream from all parts of the world. I don't know, play some music, clap, sing, pray, dance in your homes, dance in your streets. Wherever you are, take advantage of this day, because it really is a special day. It's the new moon, The heavens are open. This is Abib. This is the beginning of months, the beginning of an Israelite year. Elder Freddie, Officer Doreen, Elder Jerry, and Officer Charmaine. How are you guys doing? I'll start first with Elder Jerry and Officer Charmaine. All right, let's get the unmute. This is the way it is, guys. We're live and direct. You guys are still unmuted. There we go.
Okay. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Today's our day, right? So great.
Yes, beautiful. Absolutely. We're here in the Middle East. Okay, so don't freak out. We're actually on our way back to Toronto because we have to celebrate the Passover. Yay. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I want to say, and you know, a while ago I wrote this thing and it was about cultivating the mind. And what I would like to suggest, recommend, that, you know, we take this opportunity to treat our minds like gardens and become that constant gardener. And especially during this time being New Year's, this is the time of rebirth, new beginnings, beautiful time. This is the time when the earth becomes soft. So you imagine if you're a gardener, you will be tilling the soil to plant new seeds so that you can cultivate it later on. So I figure if you treat your mind like that garden, then it's a great opportunity to start cultivating positive thoughts, positive thinking, you know, help us build our spirituality, even our physical, you know, spiritual, physical, everything that helps us to move forward. But I think it's a really good time to start. This is New Year's. We can plant those good seeds to bring out wonderful thoughts, because remember, your actions start from your mind, right? Thoughts become words, becomes actions, becomes habit, and everything else. So this is an opportunity, and that's what I want to say. This is what's been resonating with me for the last few days. I'm sharing something with the ladies, and hopefully, you know, we all have that opportunity to cultivate our minds. So happy New Year, and God willing, I will see you all very soon.
And it's so beautiful and so great, really. We are the only people in this earth in which we can stand and boast and say our new year comes with a fresh beginning of everything. The flowers are blooming, the plants is being, you know, everything around you is fresh because it's the beginning of the spring. The weather is calm, and you can feel the difference between the dark days and the new blossom, you know, days in which, you know, spring springs. So it's our day and it's our new year, and we should all be happy with it. And, you know, I'm so much delighted and so much excited as, you know, just the fact that we're having our New Year's up and we're all jumping. I want to say Happy New Year. It's great. Happy New Year to all of you, to my brothers, my family, everybody, anywhere, and Israelite member who cherishes this day to be a special day, should really embrace it and rejoice with us. Happy New Year.
And I just want to say, because we have to say it, you know, we got to give thanks to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob for the year that we've had, and pray to him that we could move our steps forward on a positive note, that every step we make is on a solid foundation so that we would never fall. And also thank you to our Elder Shadrock for giving us back our culture. Yay. So, and also my beautiful brethren. I mean, you know, this family would not be here without you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Safe travels. We look forward to seeing you guys real soon. All right. See you.
Thank you.
Amen. Peace.
All right. We just heard from Officer Charmaine and Elder Jerry out in the Middle East, and they will be coming in. I'm getting a little bit of background static, so someone needs to go on mute. All right, that cleaned it. I don't know who that was, but yeah. All right, that was now it's nice and clean. So Yeah, that being said, guys, Officer Doreen and Elder Freddie, if we reflect back the year, what were some of your highlights of last year? I'll go with Elder Freddie.
Hey, Happy New Year, Passover, Abib, one and all. Elder Randall, to put it in a nutshell, I want to say that the whole of last year for me was actually a highlight because when you are so involved and entrenched in our culture, really and truly, to find a highlight, something that really sticks out, it's very hard. I would have to say always last year, a bit Passover, New Year, again was exciting. And our calendar is so filled with so much excitement. We have young children that are being born, offered up, circumcised. We have feasts for our young children turning 7, 14, our young ones, 21. Tomorrow comes to mind, like our virgin, like we are just so ram packed with excitement that it's really hard to pinpoint something. It's like you just wake up in the morning and you reflect, and then on a day like today, especially after what we've had in the past couple days up here in Toronto, is that we've seen basically all 4 seasons within one day. We've seen winter, we've seen summer, we've seen fall, we've seen everything in one day. So on a day like today, oh man, I know I'm supposed to pick something out that's exciting, but it's just too much. We've got baptism that's there. We have Pentecost that's there. We Feast of Tabernacles. It's literally ram packed and filled. So the excitement that I always have is when you turn a new leaf and come into a new year, and then you have all this buzz that's going on with new moon, and nobody takes the time to say, hey, well, this is it's new moon. Everybody's just talking about a solar eclipse, but on this day, it is our new year, and the newness of everything. As you said, 14 days from now, we're going to be celebrating Passover. But unbeknownst to the entire world, it is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob's new year for his people. So that's what's exciting for me. I mean, we started everything off with a bang last year.
Yeah.
We can go all the way back to 2019, and prior to that, I have been on a high these last few years, to be quite honest with you. And just to know that we are in the center of it all when it comes to our God, and when it comes to the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, and his connection to man, his servant here on earth. We, the Israelite nation, are at the center of it all, and the world doesn't even know. So for me, that's what I find so exciting, Elder Randall. I mean, I'm almost speechless. I have no time to really sit back and say, okay, let me take a break. You go from one thing to the next, from day to day, and it's all filled with excitement. It really and truly is the most wonderful time to be alive if you are a servant of the God of Israel. So that's my piece that I want to say. I want to just hand it back to yourself to see what you got to say.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what I was thinking when you're talking about your highlights? I don't know. I can't recall the exact season, but I know there was a time, I think it was maybe Feast of Tabernacles, that we were going hard, and I think you had sprained your knee or you sprained your ankle. Remember that? We were jumping so high into the sky, celebrating during the God of Israel feasting days that Elder Freddie had sprained him. You remember that?
It was just for a brief moment.
And the reason I bring it up, those I think Passover and Tabernacles, we went hard, man.
Yeah.
We left it all on the floor. We went really, really hard. Those were like major highlights. And we had a whole lot of people, brand new people that that was with us during online with COVID, right? When we were all online, we had all these new people that joined us during COVID that we finally got to meet face to face last year during Passover and then baptism. It was one of those real highlights that the things that we are doing, you know, it may not be multitudes coming in, but quality and of the individuals that we're casting the seeds, or we're putting the hook out in the ocean, and we're really becoming fishers of men, and of the right men who want to serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So those are the kind of highlights. I mean, there's tons more, but those were memorable to me. That during those feasting days, we build up a sweat, and we were jumping and praising the God of Israel. And I hope God spare our lives. I hope God spare our lives that this Passover season we could even double that. You know, we can just leave everything on the floor. And then, I mean, for me also, it's you know, what's good always comes with the battle, right? So let's don't circumvent the challenge. There's been lots of challenges also the past year that the nation has gone through, but thank the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we are here another new year, man. Our feet are still in the house of our God. We still have the ability to go before the greatest altar on earth that is prepared in the name of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And I'm thankful. I'm really, really thankful to go through the storms that we go through and still have a smile on our face, and still being committed to what we have vowed to commit to. So those are the kind of things that I see. I see Officer Doreen's ready to come in and say a few words. So let's go.
Oh, wow. It's a lot that you guys said there that's packed. Happy Abib, Happy New Year, everybody. Again, I share the same sentiments. I definitely want to say thank you, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, for allowing us and even me to see another Abib. I don't take that lightly. When you talk about highlights for last year, I think when I think about, there's a few things. Definitely baptism comes to mind. That was a wonderful feat, with remote baptism and with, local baptism. I thought that was well done, and just really nice to finally meet a lot of people that we've conversed with over the internet. So I enjoyed that. There was, I also enjoyed, I know we started, I think in February, I can't remember, Elder Freddie, with Bible and the Black Man. I know it was yourself, Elder Shadrock, Officer Charmaine, that went to Atlanta. And then we pivoted to New Jersey and then Missouri. So it was nice to travel the branches and see the brethren in their respective locations. So that was really nice. I'm thankful for that, even just being able to go around, meet brethren, connect, talk the truth. I'm thankful for having the spirit of truth from our God, that I could even understand what today means as new moon, what Abib means as an Israelite, as brethren, and even how, I know I've talked about it a couple weeks ago in a lesson about the solar eclipse, and just having the eyes to witness and see the power of him, and how the heavens again declare the glory of God. So I'm thankful that I have the spirit of truth, that we can understand that we have that understanding. So we know we don't get caught up in that, and we know where to pay homage to, the creator of everything. Another highlight for me per se this year, or a thought that I've been reflecting on, was, I don't know when it began, but there's so much chaos in the world, and I really am so thankful for protection. There's chaos in the world, and I'm speaking towards the wars, especially in Gaza and Palestine. And internet and globalization has brought us closer as a people. And witnessing all over social media, the graphic images of women and children, and the murder and killings. And my goodness, it made me think about my own life, my own child, the children in the nation, and just being thankful that we have our God's protection in that way, in terms of us. And, just children's laughter is big. It's big for me. I love when our children get together. You talk about celebrating at Abib, Passover, all the feasting that we do. Their laughter is a joy to me. You know, I'm thankful to hear children laughing. I'm thankful to hear children coming together and playing together. For me, it humbles me. For me, it allows me to think about the future. And, you know, to see them happy makes me happy. And I'm happy that I am thankful, and I'm happy that I even get to experience motherhood. So I just want to thank the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even just for that. You know, we always say that he was looking for a family. We are a family. And the children, to me, are a huge component of that family. And I pray that, you know, we are continued to be steadfast, and that we will always hear the laughter from our children. So with that, I say, you know, Happy New Year. Oh, you're on mute, Elder Randall. Still on mute. You're still on mute.
Yeah, I'm just playing, guys.
Oh.
So you know, as we do this, and you appreciate that. What are you looking forward to now this new year? Like this next 12 months, Officer Dorian, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, well, it's tall order. I am looking for peace, happiness, and togetherness. To be very honest, I'm going to bring it back to basics.
Amen.
Peace, happiness, and togetherness.
Amen.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? And let's go back to the solar eclipse part, because you know I'm not gonna let you guys slide off of that one, right? so do you? You know, I know you did the lesson with Tamar last week, and a great lesson on seasons and the times of the seasons and whatnot, and end of times discussions came up in that, right?
Yeah.
So now big solar eclipse is happening. This is, I think we air this at 3 p.m. So the solar eclipse is happening probably as we speak here in parts of the world, or parts of US and Canada. The world is standing still, regardless if they are in the US. The entire world today is standing still. The entire world. Everyone somewhere knows about or is talking about a solar eclipse, even if they are not in the US. So the world is standing still, not knowing that today is an Israelite New Year. So as they look up to the solar eclipse, we are looking up to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. As they are in awe of the hosts of heaven, we're in awe of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who created the sun, the moon, and the stars, and everything that there is. But let's talk.
Wait. I want to put a pin there, because what I love about that, and what I wanted to add, I'm so glad you brought it back to that point, was that as the world is standing still in awe, not only will we be standing in awe of our God, but we are going to be singing and praising, so that Elder Freddie will sprain another foot or something. You know what I mean? Like, how awesome is that? That the gate, like the heavens are open, the gates of heaven are open, and our singing and our worshiping will be to our Father at that set time when the whole world is standing still. I love that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Now, do you think this is going to be just a regular solar eclipse event? Do you believe it may be a sign of something bigger for us? Do you care or you don't care? Like, what's your personal feeling on this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good question. I feel like, you know what? You had done a lesson a while back. I think it was like something stirring. The winds are stirring, or the wind is blowing. The winds are blowing. Yeah. And I personally believe we're in that vein. The winds are blowing. They have been blowing. And even like that same lesson that I gave, I think more and more of us will be tested as the winds are blowing. Yeah. You know, and it can come from all directions. I mean, I think it's for us to even sit here and think we're not immune or unfathomable that, you know, where you could be when the wind is blowing. It's something for us to really hone in on and think about. How do we stay steadfast? You know, like Job, how do we just stay steadfast and not take our eye off the prize, you know?
You know,
No, that's very good.
yeah, as you say that, Officer During, it gives me a segue into something that, you know, I read with the family not too long ago. And in essence, what it is that for us as the true children of our Father, it's our duty to always be in that mode of constant work and preparation, because we just never know. And that's what I appreciate so much about what's happening, is that the world is looking at and trying to witness and do all manner of things concerning this solar eclipse. But for us, we look beyond the sun, we look beyond the moon, we look beyond just the generalization and just the general view of things, and we look at the big picture, because our God is a very big God. So all these things are just a minor course of things, because in essence, no man knoweth the hour.
That's right.
No one knows the hour when our God will return to his children. No one knows, no one is supposed to know. So that's why we just always have to work diligently and keep our shoulder to the wheel. And this year, I'm just looking forward to just, you know, tightening up the screws and making things work more efficiently and seeing where we can improve and how we can just serve our God better. And to me, that's what I look forward to. That's how I'm trying to plot the year, so that, you know, things are we're just a well-oiled machine, and whatever we need tweaking on, we tweak here. Whatever we don't need, we discard, and, you know, we just consistently move forward and find better ways to improve the way that we serve our God, because we just don't know when. You know, like the virgins and the oils of lamps. You know, just keep that oil of lamp ready, because you never know. And I do believe our God is watching us, because we take the time to honor him, to keep his ways, and to uplift his name, and to keep, you know, his ways always in our hearts, regardless of what the distractions are going to be, regardless of what's going to be happening. I think that if we lose focus on that, that's when we get lost in the sauce, as they say, lost in everything else that's happening, and not realize our true potential and who we actually are. And we are, you know, we're trailblazers. We set the trend. We've been setting the trend with our elder for how many years? We have always been on the edge, you know, on the forefront of what is new and what's to come. It's just a matter of everyone else catching up, but we can't take our eyes off of our duties and our responsibilities. So for me, like, just looking forward to this year, it's just more excitement, just more fine tuning, more revision, and just, you know, just making it even better. So let them worry about the solar eclipse. Our God created the sun. Our God created the stars, as it says in, you know, in Psalms 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. And he was done with it millions of years ago, if they say, well, however long it was, he finished it. And now we just look towards him for our hope and our inspiration. And for me, that's the excitement, because no one else does what we do.
Can I just add real quick, Elder Randall?
Sure.
You know, I love what you're saying, Elder Freddie. I love that. And I love you say work and preparation, because as it is our Abib season, how can we not think about Moses and all the plagues and everything that was happening in the world at that time? In the month of Abib, we came out. And I'm thinking, like, you know, in our history, that's how it always is. It's either this catastrophe or something's happening. We were in bondage. And if you stay in the work and in the preparation, when he's ready, he's going to tap. Got to tap somebody on the shoulder. I tapped Moses. Moses, I'm ready. I have a job for you to do. And I love that, the work and preparation, because there's so much going on right now in the world. You know, you don't know who's going to get tapped to do what we need to do, either collectively or individually, whatever it is. But we have to stay in work and prep mode, so that when we're tapped, we can do our due diligence to serve him properly. Because again, there's so many catastrophes, and you don't know what the job calling could be for, you know?
I'm gonna read a scripture, because you guys are in that mood, and then I'm gonna bring up I'm going to bring up Elder Jason from the UK branch to have a chat with us. So I'm going to read Luke 12. I'm going to read from verse 35 based on what Officer Doreen and Elder Freddie said. It says, "Let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, and you yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And this know, that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not have suffered his house to be broken through. Be you therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not." So to the conversation, in terms of the kind of theme I'm hearing from you guys for looking forward for this year, peace and unity. It's also making sure that you don't get shaken out of your seat, because it's very important the work that we're doing, and I always say this: when there's something great that's about to happen, there's going to be a ton of challenges to stop it from happening, and it's the individuals who basically eject and run that misses the reward in the end. And for all the brethren that are listening, and all of you who are new to the channel or wondering what an Israelite New Year is all about, I urge you, if you're somewhere in between, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're 50-50, you're contemplating your next move, where you should be. I always tell people, remember Psalms 23, "And I will dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life." That is the prayer. I'd rather be a doorkeeper. Another psalm says, "And I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than to dwell in the tents of wickedness." So, you want to be in the house of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have said this again. This is our new moon and our new year. We've said it 1,000 times that we are far from perfect, but what we do have and what we do believe is that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did choose our Elder Shadrock. He did open his eyes. He did open his ears. He did give him instructions to rebuild the tribes of Israel, to set them back into the culture, to set them back into the ways of praising him and knowing him and keeping his feasting days and his holy days. This is a fact. It's not wishful thinking. It's not a theory. It's a fact. So we acknowledge even our Elder Shadrock on a day like today, because he's done almost 40 years. And again, Solar Eclipse. Okay, I'm bringing it back there as buzzwords so we can get the algorithm going for YouTube. So Solar Eclipse, right? And 7 years ago there was a solar eclipse, a cycle. It's a whole cycle. Boom, here's a solar eclipse. It's almost 40 years, guys. In this cycle, right? This 12 months, it's going to be, we're gonna experience in 2025 our 40 years of being the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. This is interesting times, is what I'm trying to tell people. Don't close your eyes to it. Even a blind monkey would know that these are interesting times. Wars, earthquakes, the knowledge of the Jacobites knowing that they're the people of the Bible has increased dramatically. Putin is saying that Jesus is black. You're just seeing so many things, and then the underground world, they're doing so many malicious and evil things. Even today, you know, NASA is launching their 3 rockets to inspect and study all scientific research. Everyone is looking to be God, or try to create God, or try to create a version of God. Like, this is what the Gentiles have been trying to do. And they know today is one of those days, to your point, Officer Doreen, that the gates are open. We're not the only one that knows the gates are open. We're not the only ones. They know the gates are open. And so they have specifically set aside this date on their calendar to do things that
You know what calls to mind right there when you say that? The Tower of Babel.
yeah.
Like, you know, today is the day the gates of heaven have opened, and you want to send your rocket ships to go meet who? Who are you trying to go look for? You know, you want to go meet
on this one for sure.
Oh, right, this is way up your alley.
Yeah, they're sending rockets and attempting to open portals themselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey.
You know, they made a Tower of Babel to go to heaven to go look for God. The gates of heaven are open. They're going to send rockets to go look for him. My God.
What's so interesting about Officer Doreen is that, peace, Elder Jason, is that did they not see the end result when they had made an attempt to be as God? And God just basically, our Father, looked at it and said, you know, nothing shall be withheld from their imagination. And you know, the minute that they did that, they are one, and this they begin to do.
Correct.
You know, like, why not just do what's been proved and what's been tried, and serve the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob instead? Wouldn't that be the more, you know, righteous thing to do, the more proper thing to do, as opposed to going against him? Why not just serve him and be at one and be at peace, and then he will give you all of that which you desire? Like,
yeah.
So true. But hey, I guess as Elder Michael would say, and Elder would say, I'm just being too logical, right?
But again, you said it before. I do want to thank Elder Shadrock for laying down this groundwork. And we talk about work and preparation. His shoulders were tapped to teach this truth, 100%. To spread it, you know, and to teach us the name of our God. So I'm very thankful that there is an Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, that we can come together and congregate and praise our God.
100%. And before we get into Elder Jason, I want to just go quickly to Exodus 11, and that would be a good way to springboard Elder Jason into this. One of the things that we, even Elder and I, spoke about it last week, and he was like, you know what he hopes his eyes will see is the separation, because we know we're heading into interesting times. Okay, like he has said, there's going to be no war. And what he means by that is all these people got nuclear weapons, man. It's not those. That's not war anymore. That's just nuking, right? Everyone's just getting this fire and nuke. So he says he hopes that the world would realize, and that our eyes would see, his eyes specifically, the separation of Israel and the world, right? Where the world would have to go through what they got to go through, but there will be a clear separation that we have been kind of picked out of going through that. So Exodus 12 from verse 1 says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt." And again, this is during this season, this time of the year. "Afterwards, he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, you shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver, jewels of gold. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians," which we're hoping that this new cycle will bring forth, that we, the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, will get favor among the strangers that we live at. "Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, and in the sight of Pharaoh's servant, in the sight of the people." Verse 4 says, "And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, above midnight I will go out in the midst of Egypt, And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout the land of Egypt. When Elder taught us Isaiah 19, it also talks about the Egyptians shall cry in those days of judgment. From 1619 to 2019 is the 400-year prophecy. We crossed over 2019, and we've just been seeing the judgment level accelerating and accelerating and accelerating. But there has to come a time when the Egyptians will cry out. This, my friends, is something that we are in the audience seat looking and always staring at, but it will happen. We just don't know when, but it's going to happen, that the Egyptians will cry out. And there shall be a great cry throughout the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall it be like it anymore. But against the children of Israel, listen to that, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that you may know that the Lord had put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. And this is kind of also what I hope to see in this upcoming year, that we start to see that separation, that decoupling, that the God of Israel will put his glory upon his people, because he's got to make his name known again. And when God of Israel makes his name known, he makes it known through his people Israel. That's a guarantee. So I'm hoping and praying on a day like today, guys, that the house of the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries will be set back up on the mountain, and all nations shall flow to it and glorify the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. May look far-fetched right now, but that is the faith. That is the faith, and that is the hope, because it's written, and we have to believe that. It's written. It's written far before I and you were born. It's been written, and the words of God does not come back empty. Elder Jason from
wait.
All right, okay, hold on. Go ahead.
No, because you I love that. I love it. I love it. I feel like
sitting down, waiting, listening to you guys. I feel like please carry on at the starting line, ready for them to say in your marks, get set, and then let the fire go. So, oh man. So I'm so excited. And
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Officer Dorian was going to say something, then you jump in right after.
He didn't hear me. That's okay. I feel the passion, Elder Jason. But no, I'm right there with you, Elder Andel, because as you bring up Isaiah 19, I was thinking about, a few years ago, Elder Freddie, you brought up 2019, and I'm thinking about George Floyd, a lowly man that brought the whole world together in his catastrophe, his death, But then the unraveling that I'm seeing with the stay of the tribes, we're always, Jacobites are always looking to the stay of the tribes for whatever, glory, popularity, instruction, even how to live their life or whatever to chase. And you see even their demise. So as you say, even this Egyptian against Egyptian and the separation, even that, the crumbling of the stay of the tribes, don't look to them to give you any answers. Don't look to them. As this separation begins.
Hold on. For the layman out there who don't have no clue what you mean by the stay of the tribes, what does that mean?
You know what? The popular term today is the influencers. Influencers for our society that look like us, the P. Diddy's and the Beyoncé's and the Jay-Z's and, whoever else, the Cornel West's, the, all of them, the Farrakhan's even, all of them that don't have the spirit of truth. Whoever the Obamas, whoever don't have the spirit of truth, you'll see the separation, and you're seeing now even the unraveling of them, that don't look to them. We're your wise men. Don't look to them. They are not your wise men. Yeah.
Very good.
Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, Elder Jason. Go right ahead.
No, but before he goes, to your point, right? Like, to your point, that when we talk about there's never been a time like this, all of those things attached to that. There's never been a time when we thought all of these children of Jacob, like the Oprah Winfreys, etc., were just rich and untouchable, and we were like, well, what? You know, I remember my first teachings at Elder.
Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was at Earl's Court, I remember the first teachings because the Rise guys brought that up. Like, well, if we're cursed, what happened? Like, how is Oprah Winfrey, you know, so successful? And he was like, you know, like it's not. She doesn't represent the entire nation. This is one of a million or one of 2 million. And number two, they usually always come to a terrible end. They always do. And you know, you have your season, but it you gotta pay. You pay at some time, you gotta pay. And to your point, you're starting to see all these guys who thought they were untouchable. They have made oaths with Illuminati, Freemasonry. They have sold their soul in rituals, and they got witches as their mentors, and they have done all kinds of pedophilias. They have done all kinds of nasty, terrible things, and they thought they were untouchable. And now, as we come into our new year, just as we're running into our new year, you start to see all of them starting to get unstitched. This is fantastic, and people need to pay attention to it, because once they get dethroned, let's call it that way, once they get dethroned and people realize that the Egyptians, whether they go after their witches and their warlocks like Isaiah 19 talk about, and they realize it's all folly at the end of the day, they have to start looking towards you, me, and the brethren. They do. That's going to be their hope. What they have put their strength in is failing them, and they would see it with their own eyes. It's failing you. It's a foul spirit. Elder Jason, my man, talk to me.
Where do you want to start?
How's UK branch? How are you guys last year? What you guys are aspiring to do this year? Talk to me, man.
Okay, so first of all, I'm happy to be on this forum. I'm very, very happy. I've been waiting in the background, waiting to speak, listening to you guys, you know, getting so excited and hoping that I don't stutter, because when I get excited, my mouth starts climbing up. So I've got to kind of like take it easy. First of all, I don't know if you see that. Yeah, you see that? God of Israel.
God of Israel over everything. Nice.
God of Israel over everything. Now, I just wanted to say a little something about this t-shirt, right? And who I am. So I wore this t-shirt to work one day, and some woman, I was inside the house, and she looked at me. She saw the t-shirt and she double checked, and she goes, "Oh, what does that say?" And I said, "God of Israel over everything." "Oh, what are you? Are you a Christian?" I said, "No, I'm an Israelite." Right? From that point there, conversation, like half an hour, everything I told her, she didn't know. And you know who she is? She's a reader for the Seventh-day Adventists. And she's an old woman, and she's been in that field for so long, and she didn't understand, or not understand, she didn't know anything I was telling her. Right? And for me, I find pleasure in the fact that I'm teaching all the time. And there's loads of people that still don't know about our God. She said to Priest Ricardo, when she spoke to me, she saw that I lit up. And she said that she saw in me that I found joy in speaking about my God and about my culture. Right? Because my God is he's powerful, man. He's powerful. He's the greatest God. You know, there's so much thanks I could give this to my God. Like, if I start speaking, I'm gonna start climbing up. So I've got to take it easy, right? But I'm so grateful for the Israelite Nation, even for the people that's on here, the panelists. You know, Elder Shadrock. I'm so grateful, because without me knowing the stuff I know, I'll be out there in the streets serving the wood, serving the stone, serving most of the Kabbalah, serving the sheep, the cow, the bull, whatever it is. I'll be serving something else, and I'm just grateful that I'm serving the God of Israel. So if I'm looking back at last year, there's so much I've got to say, and I'm not gonna say too much because I know there might be other people waiting there. But last year was very interesting. My child was born last year. There was complications with my child. I reached out to the nation and I asked the nation if they could pray, if they could fast. Cut a long story short, my child came out perfect. Yeah, it came out perfect. I was just so grateful, so happy. Thank the God of Israel for that. We had great Passover, great New Year's. Obviously, tomorrow's 21st feast. My grandchild, another grandchild of mine, was born and offered up last year. Like every year something great happens. There's not a dull moment. There's not a dull moment ever. Even in the next couple of weeks, in the next week, we have Passover. All branches heading towards Toronto. All branches, and I just can't wait. I'm just excited. I'm excited for what's to come this year. I'm grateful for last year. I'm grateful for my God. Grateful for the scriptures. If I think about Abib, if I think about New Year's, straight away I think New Year's, I think Abib. I think scriptures. I think Moses. I think about the laws and the commandments. I think about Genesis. I think about the new moon. We keep the new moon. We don't keep the full moon. Yeah, it's the new moon that we keep. Other nations keep the full moon. We acknowledge the new moon. Other nations don't really do that. So I'm grateful for the knowledge that I have. It is like gold. It's like gold dust. You can't buy this. You can't buy this. That's what I wanted to say.
I think Elder Freddie's coming in on this.
Yeah, it's so. Elder had mentioned something on Saturday. He said that he doesn't get pay, he refuses pay, he doesn't take pay. Just imagine that. You can't buy what we have, and you can't pay us. Because the work that we do the work for our God. And that's how it's supposed to be. There is no place within our holy book do you see any man or servant of the God of Israel taking payment for anything, because it's not ours to take. We give it freely because that's who we are. That's what we were meant to be. That's what we were meant to do. It's not about the physical material things that you can give people. It's about who you are on the inside. That's what makes you who you are. And you just bring that forward. It's not what's on the outside, but it's what's inside your heart, inside your mind. And these are the people who are in the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, from leadership down to the very child that is within the womb. These are the principles that we stand on. These are the principles that our Elder Shadrock taught us. And so we wouldn't have, as everyone says, we would not have learned these things. We would not know these things unless he taught us, unless he set that example for us. And so how could you not? If you really and truly do love the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, if you really and truly do love him, you would make your way to the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, because that's where he is found in the trueness of it. Like, how can you acknowledge that scripture in Ezekiel? How could you understand that on the gates would be open on the new moon and on the Sabbath day?
Not the full moon.
Not the full moon, but on the new moon and on the Sabbath day. The new moon tells you when the month begins. 7 days after that is the Sabbath day. Like, come on, man. Where are you going to find this? You can't. So, Elder Jason, I share that same excitement that you share when we talk about our Father, when we speak to people in passing. They see it because it's genuine. It is the truth. that comes out of us. And
No,
there's nothing you can say about that.
I wanted to say as well is that when you guys were talking about the shift, I see the shift when we started to do online videos, and we've been plugging. We got so much content out there. We got so much, and it's so much that you don't really have to pick up your Bible and read. Although we always encourage that, yeah, you read it, you read your Bible, but there's so much content out there that you can't turn a blind eye to it. You really can't. We've exposed so much, and there's so much more to be exposed, but we've exposed so much. And one of the most important things, well, I can't even say one of the most important things because there's so many important things, but it is about the Sabbath day, because everybody wants to claim that they have the true Sabbath. And when I speak to people, I have to say to them, well, back in Moses' days, was there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday? No, there wasn't. So where do you get your Saturday from and your Sunday from for you to say it's every Saturday or every Sunday? You know, we've exposed that. We've exposed about Paul. We've exposed and told you guys about our God's name and where to get it and why the name is there. We've exposed about the clouds and the heavens and who could go heaven and who can't go heaven. We've exposed all of these things. So we're urging you guys, check out our channel, subscribe, ask us questions. In fact, all the questions that you've asked us, we've already answered it through our lessons. You know, so it's just a matter of you guys just coming in and meeting us and having that physical contact, because we have everything out there, or almost everything.
Great. No, Elder Jason from our UK branch, who has been a committed soldier from day number one. You've been, there's people that try to educate us, Elder Jason, and they just realized 2 weeks ago that they're Israelites. They failed to realize that our Elder Shadrock is the one who authored all the books that was initially done in the late 80s, early 90s to really educate the minds of the children of Jacob on who they are and their God. And someone like you who's been around for a long time living as an Israelite, it's funny how you do get some people who just realize that they're Israelites in the Bible 2 weeks ago, coming to our channel and making comments about things. And I just want to say, per what you said, is that anyone out there who are listening, we are the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. We are the home of Elder Shadrock. And do your research and you'll realize that the Israelite content that has really uplifted so many children of Jacob, regardless if they're giving him credit or not, he has been a catalyst of this. To your point also, Elder Jason, when I first, and I came into the nation at 21, I'm almost 52, so people can do the math, okay? I didn't hear Israelite, and there was not many at that time, but I didn't hear any Israelite group talk about new moon, right? And then eventually I started to see new moon in their speech. I didn't hear a whole lot of people say elders. It was all mores and they even called themselves rabbis and all these different things. Then they eventually started to call themselves elders. I didn't hear anything about the Feast of Dedication, for instance. Feast of Dedication started to roll in after, all of these things our elder talked about from day number one. A lot of them didn't even read the New Testament. Honestly, back then they did not read the New Testament. And Elder used to say, from Genesis to Revelation is an Israelite book. It's our entire book. Now they read New Testament, and now I guess Paul is most of those guys' leaders. But Elder even did a lesson on who Paul was and what all the things that they're now trying to catch up on. Elder Shadrock had done in the late 80s. So guys, when we're speaking, I need you to understand we're not coming from a place of ego. we're coming from a place of experience. We are coming from a place of serious experience. We've been doing this a long time. And to your point, like, share, subscribe, and look at the link in the description if you want to learn more and fill out the form and get to really know the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. But Elder Jason, we have to say peace and Happy New Year, my friend. And
peace.
Thanks for hopping on and wishing the world and your brethren a Happy New Year.
Yeah, peace, man. Happy New Year. Happy Abib.
Yeah,
Even
man.
happy guys soon.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see you soon. Godspeed.
Thanks. Peace.
Godspeed.
All right. I'm going to bring up, guys. Thomas has been waiting in the queue from Atlanta. So I want to bring up Thomas to the stage.
Peace, everyone. How you doing there?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you for the opportunity to be here among with the council and also to represent Atlanta branch.
Yes.
Yes. All right. First thing I'm gonna do is Happy New Year and Happy New Moon and then birth. As we step back in this fresh beginning, you can say that I'm reminded of the beautiful cycle of renewal of growth and around us, right? So you saw that the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the create seasons. And the season we are in spring, and you can look around, the trees are blooming, the flowers are growing beautiful, the bees. And as we resonate deeply as a witness of the true full bloom of vibrant flowers, you see the pollen coming out, that tells you we are in the New Year's. Because you're looking during the spring, during the January time, I have never seen no pretty flowers that blooms during the January month, but that automatic tells you that we are the only one that mimics the biblical, exactly what it says during the month of the Abib. And you can see it at your eyes, and you can hear the birds coming around. So that tells you this is the month of the new year. And so, it's time to look at the grass. I love gardening. I love going out there. But you look at when the grass turns dormant, during the wintertime, it's brown. But when it comes to spring, it's pretty and green. And so you know that the God of Israel is painting the picture real beautiful for us to come into the light, come out of the darkness. And so if you look at the bees, for example, they diligently working, collecting the pollen, making honey, the birds coming and making their nests. We see it's all around us. And then at the same time, we look at the abundance that is given us, especially during the garden season. We're preparing our food, making preparation, making the new things and get prepared. Now, this is a perfect time to grow food, nourish our body, and also to increase our health. Not just our health, also increase more spirit and our also spirit and soul. And so this year, I love it. I'm excited. I'm looking forward. And as we go on and I look at the last year, and it was beautiful. Went there, support the baptism, went to the Passover. Enjoyed myself in Atlanta branch to the Feast of Tabernacle. Coming from the past and coming into the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministry, I'm gonna tell you, I've been in the other, temple for 20 years, and I never experienced something like this here. When we got brothers come together in unity and unified each other, and also to have a feast and do what God of Abraham and Isaac says to do. This is awesome, and I love every bit of it. And before I go, I want to say that this year I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward for the upgrade to another level, basically. And you look at, I would tell you something, in my 50s, and you looking at all them years going by, being taught wrong, right? But now I'm so happy and glad and thank the God of Israel that I'm here with the Israelite Worldwide Ministry to learn the correct way, the right way, our culture, our spiritual, the King James Version Bible. That's us. And I look forward and I stand behind that. And I just want to say, thank God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and God of Jacob for this year, a beautiful year. Wake up and you can smell, and also you can see the beautiful sky. I just want to thank you, and thank you to God, and thank you, the council, and everybody else. Thank you.
Thomas, it's our, again, Happy New Year to you and to the Atlanta branch. You've been such a support, a genuine support, someone who we're proud to have and call brother. And we're in this together, Thomas, and people need to know that. I think, as brethren that are looking at it and people from the outside, one of the things that we continue to build, and we struggle to build it, but it's a family, right? That's the core. That's the core of what we're doing. And no man, Elder Freddie said this yesterday, no man is an island. And it's true. Like, sometimes you may think that, hey man, I got elders' books, I got the Bible, I can go off on an island by myself and I can serve the God of Israel because no one can stop me from serving the God of Israel, and no one can. That's not our place. But there was a reason. There was a reason why even Jesus and his parents came into Jerusalem every year for the Passover. There was a reason why the apostles, wherever they were traveling, came into Jerusalem to keep the feasting days. There was a reason that even when Paul had questions that he couldn't answer, had to go to Jerusalem to meet with the council. There was a reason where people, whether you had a sin offering or a Thanksgiving offering, you had to go to the temple according to the law of Moses and do it. There was always a nucleus where the people have been gathered into. Always. There was always, whether it was the tabernacle in the wilderness, okay, or whether it was the temple at Jerusalem, there was always a spot that the God of Israel will gather his people. That is throughout Scripture. Even as we come down, there's going to be, we don't seek to go into the land of Israel today, but we seek a city whose walls and whose floors and whose roofs were not made by man's hands, but they were made by the God of Israel, which is New Jerusalem that comes down from heaven, prepared for those that can go into. There's always a central point of excellence, let's call it that way. And that's why we struggle so much, Thomas, is that we want to keep that roof on, those walls up, and that foundation going, so you, me, and everyone can benefit from the richness of the house of the God of Israel. It's very, very important. Let's make this a year where we don't go off in our egos, believing that we're all spiritual people. Korah said that. Well, we're all Levites. We're all holy people. Let's don't go into that ego and don't self-proclaim ourselves to be prophets or anyone that's highly spiritual. Let's be servants. Let's be as little children who is eagerly looking to serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I think once we do that, Thomas, we're going to really see the next leg up in our progress, the next leg up. And I'm really hoping that is going to be within this next 12 months, to be honest.
You know what? Can I jump in there? Oh, go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just have to just piggyback off of what Thomas was saying, because he hit the nail right on the head, because he's down there in Georgia, and as for in comparison to what we put up with up here, like, you can still see that even though Georgia it's warmer, you have seasons that cannot be denied. And so with our Passover is meant to be kept in the season, not only on the calendar, but in the season that it's supposed to be. And that season is the springtime, the new year. So you experience the same thing down there, that during those months prior to now, you can't grow anything. There's nothing there. It's dead. It's dormant. It's not going to be reawakened until the season that it's supposed to be in. So you can't keep our Passover like some people might keep their days like all over the year, all over the calendar. But no, our God is so precise. Our God is so exact that he wants you to keep it at the right set time in the season that it's supposed to be. Don't be early, don't be late. He wants it when it's supposed to be. And that's what we do. Like we when you say you thank us, but it's not us. We just say, thank you, God of Israel. Give him the glory, give him the praise, because it's not about us, man. At the end of the day, it's never about us. We just carry out, we just deliver the message, And for those who have the ears to hear, our God will open their ears. When he wants to open their eyes, he will open their eyes, because he wants quality people. It's not about the quantity. He wants the quality people that he has chosen. And I thank him so much when we have brethren like yourself who really like being baptized is one thing, but then to see the actual baptism, what I mean? It's like that perspective that's there. It's like I can't give you that experience until you experience it yourself. And then when you see, it's like, okay, you know what? I get this. I get it. And it takes very rare people to really see that, and then after that, it's like you just know that nothing really and truly is just granted. Like there's no entitlement here. We work for what we have to get from our God, and that's the beauty of it. And that's how you appreciate it so much. So it's really great, Thomas, that you're here. I had the pleasure of meeting Thomas Jr. This past summer. Like really, really outstanding. It's like this is like, wow, Thomas, he's a chip off the old block. He's just, it's like, you know what, you can just see it. And that's what we strive for. As you see, like we're all parents here, and we strive to pass this on to the next generation and into their generation. And that's when that you've done a real good job, is that when you can pass it down to your children's children, and they just upkeep and keep moving forward with this culture that we have. Because all of us growing up, we never had a culture. We were plugged into something that was completely alien to us, that didn't mesh with us, it didn't connect with us. But now that we have our own culture, like, sky's the limit, man. Sky is the limit. And as always, what I say is, glory be to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Our God, our Father, deserves all the praise at all times.
I love that.
I think I cut you off, Officer David. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm enjoying you, Elder Freddie. I love that. You couldn't have said it any better. Yes, as you were saying, and I totally agree that all glory belongs to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's bigger than us. Again, we're in our Abib season, so all the stories are coming up, and I'm reflecting on our past time, and I'm thinking about togetherness. There's Thomas in Atlanta. Happy New Year, Thomas. But we are together celebrating this Abib, even though you're all the way there. We are together. And I'm thinking about, when we left Egypt, when Moses left, they left together as a nation. One didn't leave on day one. And I'm going back to what you're saying, Elder Andel, about a man on an island, no man on an island. And, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob said a solemn assembly in the great congregation. They left, one didn't leave on day 2 and day 3. They left together on dry ground to cross the Red Sea. Then you fast forward, and all throughout our history, there was this togetherness. Every feast, everything we do, there's always in the congregation of togetherness. When even Christ came and went and looked for 12, because there's a togetherness. It's always bringing the family together, and not us getting too big of ourselves to tear apart. We're coming back to build the nation, to broadcast to the world, because like you said, even in Egypt, he wants to show his power to everybody, whether it be Israel or whether it be the world. He wants his power and his name and glory all to be unto him. And I'm so thankful to have the instruction manual so that we can reflect and use it to guide and navigate our lives. But it is a great time to be alive in even these times where it's rough, where the world is like, my goodness. It is great to be alive. I always say I'm happy. I personally am happy that my soul, and I am born in this time. I don't know if I could have made it 100 years ago or in Moses' time. I don't know. But I am very happy to be born and alive in this time, to know this truth and to be together with the family. It's a trying thing. I'm not going to sit here and cookie code it. It's trying. Like, we read the scriptures, the prophets went through it, Israel went through it. We see how tough of a challenge. I mean, my goodness, our ancestors were lynched the other day. You know what I mean? So this is a struggle, to be an Israelite in this world. It's a struggle. We talk about it all the time. but there's also glory times. And those glory times, just like we go through the rough times together, it's more joyous when we're together going through the glory times. Like Thomas, you just said, you've been to all these other shrines, but you've never had an experience, the feasting or the glory like you have in this house. And I pray that that is what we continue moving forward. More of those times. I leave it there.
I think maybe possibly Elder Andrew could have, maybe he's froze for, is he or no?
Yes, I think.
But regardless, I mean, we do have our moments, you know, as to be expected, but it's when you seek the wisdom of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob is what allows us to always continue to move forward in a positive venue, because you want to always maintain that positivity. Our God is extremely positive. He doesn't want to see us in situations where, you know, this is my servant and my servant is doing bad. No, like if he knows who you are, he knows that you are going to shout his name on the rooftop because he has blessed you with so much understanding. So you know that what happens is you gain patience, you gain wisdom, you gain understanding through serving him. And so he gives you, there's no time that he can't navigate you through, whether your time period is in the 50s or 40s, 20s. You can go as far back as you want, but he blesses you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so that you can navigate your way through regardless of the period in time. Because we've seen that since Genesis, what he did for our fathers. Just look at how he took care of Abraham and instructed him and made him so wise amongst everyone. Like I go back to that story of Lot's tribesmen and Abraham's tribesmen, and you know, the wisdom that you gain from serving the God of Israel. He said, you know what, Lot, you decide what range or what area you want. I'll just go the opposite way. You know, so it's those sort of things that you know that our God takes care of you once you serve him. Like Abraham, he is the first of us, like the greatest example of how you can be and who you're supposed to be. You just look at what it took for him, like at 99 years and 9, like you know what I mean, like his life is pretty much over, but yet he's diligent, he's consistent, he's committed, and even to the point where his son he's gonna be tested and sacrifice your son. You know what I mean? Like just think of all the things that comes to you, all the gifts, all the blessings that the God of Israel bestows upon you once you are in line with him. Like we have an entire Bible that is full of how to live your life and how to just be at one, regardless of the circumstances. Like our forefathers lived through times when there were earthquakes, there were wars. Can you imagine being invaded and having the Babylonians, having the Egyptians run over you, having the Greeks run over you, having the Romans? Like, it's not like today where you can have a national army to protect you. No, they came in, they invaded, there was slaughter and blood and people everywhere. But for those who served and maintained with the God of Israel, he allowed them to go into Babylon, but yet you're going to be blessed while you're in the heart, in the center, in the belly of the beast. You're still being cared for. So here we are today, you know, reflecting on all that, looking back on all the things that our God has done for us. Once you maintain that connection with the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, everything will be taken care of. Even when Elder Andal chips off and he has no access and he freezes, he still comes back and we can still move on. You know what I mean? It's our God takes care of us in every sense of the word. And it's always just a pleasure to just know that regardless of the obstacle that we're going to face, regardless of what tribulations we might have, once we maintain the name of our God and call on him, there's absolutely nothing that we cannot get through.
Awesome. Hey, Thomas, Happy New Year, man. And say Happy New Year to all the people in Atlanta. We're going to bring up Colin and have a chat with Colin.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Thank you. Peace.
Man.
Right.
Peace. All right, let's talk to Colin a little bit here, guys. I see him getting settled in. Let's wait till he gets settled in, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up after we speak to Colin, because I know there's things that we need to take care of. But let's bring up our man Colin. Happy New Year, my friend.
Hey, peace, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It starts again.
That's it.
Oh, man.
So, Colin, tell us,
so
man.
Wonderful to be a part of the nation, man.
Yeah. Tell us how wonderful it is.
It's been great. I mean, what, 2 years now or 3 years? I feel like I've been there forever, man. I mean, last year has been awesome. I think atonement was what was really the highlight for me, because it was the first time we're doing it at the nation, because the year before we did it at Elder Elvis' house. So it was great just to be among everyone. I always talk about worship night, the first night. Well, see, I'm mixing up the two of them. I'm mixing up tabernacles now with atonement. But it was just been an awesome year, and just soaking it up as a new member, a relatively new member, learning to pray, learning to how to worship the God of Israel, how to appreciate who I am. It's just awesome. It's just been everything that more than I could imagine. So I'm like, just hoping and praying that it is His will that I remain in the nation, and I do all that I can to just remain in the nation forever.
That's a good hope, man. What for this new year? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
So for this new year, it's more togetherness, just being brothers, to be united as a family, to be closer amongst the brethren, to settle the little rift. So because I realize that for over the years, Israel has to be united. We have to be strong in one voice, like unity. And as I was talking to some brethren yesterday, back in the days, usually when one person mess up, the whole entire Israel, gets in trouble, right? So we can't afford to have that, that one person or whatever that is happening. We have to, settle our differences as quickly as we can and just be united as one. And that's what I'm looking forward for this year more than anything else. I mean, I know, and then Passover, I just can't wait for it for next week. I mean, next couple of weeks where everybody's gonna come in again and they just meet everybody again, and it's just gonna be awesome. And we're gonna be just have a wonderful time. So we're looking forward to Passover. But for this year, I'm really hoping that we can just be united as one and just settle our differences and just be together. Because I think it's very important that this New Year starts the way it is, with the eclipse, whatever they call it, that's happening. I think it's very significant for us to know that this is going to be a very awesome year for us. Things are going to be different. Things are going to change. So we have to keep our foot grounded, focus, get the unity together, because I don't know. Because when I asked you the question, you remember I asked yesterday if we're going to touch Revelation, right? And you said pretty much no. So I figured, okay, all right, fine. So a lot of the things that they're talking about is going to happen tomorrow and forever is not even the point of even thinking about it. So I'm going to scrap it completely from my mind now. I'm just looking forward to, okay, so Israel is going to be growing, but we just need to be, united in one. Because I can't forget what he said in Malachi. Everything, stay within the border of Israel and watch everything that's happening around us. You know what I mean? In Malachi chapter 1, remember that verse?
Yeah.
That always stay in my head. So I'm trying everything just to stay within Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. To 4, right. Just stay within Israel and just don't worry about what's going on outside. You're gonna see it happen. Just stay right there. So that's kind of like my thing, moving forward, and just hope that we can be united and circle up and just get it going.
Yeah, no, nice, man. And you know what? Thanks for jumping on and saying Happy New Year to the world. It's a pleasure, Colin, to have you in our Toronto branch headquarters. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for all the work you've done. And we're going to see, to your point, we're going to see a very interesting year. All we have to do is unite, stay strong, and lean on the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob even more than we've ever leaned on him. And let's respect each other, respect our leadership, respect our Elder Shadrock, and I think and respect each other, right? And I think with that being in mind, today is a day for me, to be honest, that I'm super pumped, man. I'm super pumped, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm also got some anxiety because I don't know what's gonna come. I don't know what's gonna happen. Right? It's a massive day. This is a massive It can't be coincidence. It is what it is, and I don't know what. I'm no prophet. I don't know what the future brings, but we do know that it says that. After the 400 years, in Genesis 15, it says, after 400 years, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they, which is Israelite, come up with great substance. Now, I think Elder Freddie is down, and I think he is frozen, if I'm not mistaken. So you may, Elder, if the moderators behind the scenes, anyone that's frozen, yeah, there you go. Good. So, Colin, thank you, my friend.
So,
for
as I see, big up.
All right.
Happy New Year again. Looking forward
man.
to the service tomorrow. All right.
All right.
New Year.
Peace out.
All right. Priest Doreen, Officer Doreen, aka, it's both you and I to close off.
Yeah.
Guys, when we do these live broadcasts, there's Wi-Fi goes down, internet goes down. It is what it is, but we keep it real and authentic. This is real and authentic. So we had some brethren who jumped in. We appreciate those who could have jumped in and say hello to us and to the world. This is the Israelite New Year. This is the month of Abib. This is new moon. And we're wishing the entire world and the Israelite community a very, very happy New Year that is filled with peace, love, truth, prosperity, and power. Officer Doreen, I'll give you the closing words and we will salute them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I can't wait for our Abib season. It's one of our wonderful times in the nation to get together from all the different branches all across the world. Seeing some of you guys I haven't seen for a long time. The UK branch, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, but it's going to be an exciting month. Passover is always exciting for us. So I just can't wait to connect and be together with everyone and have a wonderful, wonderful Abib Feast of Unleavened Bread Passover season. So
I think just said some dates. I believe is Passover. The first night is April the 21st.
Correct. Yeah.
Even. So those of you who want to know, Passover starts April the 21st at even. And like Elder Jason says, you can like, you can subscribe, you can share. You can also look in the description of this video and there'll be a link if you want to join the nation or ask questions. You can fill that form out and someone from our welcome committee will reach out to you. But I hope you and your family are having a fantastic Israelite New Year and peace.
Peace.
In the springtime, everything comes to life. The birds and the bees, the flower and the trees now. The animals away from hibernation. God's creation. Happy New Year. It is Abib. Happy New Year. Best time to live. Happy New Year. Let's celebrate. This is the reason. Now is our season. In the month of Abib, we give thanks to our Father. It's a time of beauty and light. You know that's right. Everything put in its time and its season. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. In that order. All created by our Father. So in the month of Abib, we give thanks to the God of Israel while we still live. This is the reason. Now is our season. The holy month of Abib starts a new year. Happy New Year. It is Abib. Happy New Year. Best time to live. Happy New Year. Let's celebrate. This is the reason. Now is our season. Not too hot, not too cold. It's been this way since the days of